Oh, goodness. All right, well, I'm Joanna Ford, and I'm a senior at Cash's. I am very involved in music here at church and at school. And I think that music has always been a part of my life that's always shaped me and given me something to look forward to, kind of like my home away from home or my escape, a way for me to express who I am and what I love. And I think that my parents have been a huge part of that. I've grown up in a Christian family. Growing up at church, being a pastor's kid has always kind of been the typical stereotype that I've been given. I mean, but I did. I grew up in a Christian family, and I asked Jesus into my heart when I was in kindergarten. And that was kind of where my story started off. I mean, I would go to camp every year with my grandparents, and I went to a small Christian school. So my life was pretty much filled with God's influence. And your adolescent years are never fun, right? Nothing that anyone ever enjoys doing. The puberty, the drama, it's never fun. And I got stuck with a bunch of really mean kids in elementary school and middle school, and it doesn't get worse. It doesn't get better, ladies and gentlemen. It just keeps going. But you always know, but my point is, you'll always find that group of people. But the thing that got me through it was my family and the church that I went to. And I think that that my walk with God was never a very personal, doing my devotions every day. It's always something that I've struggled with, and something that I still struggle with to this day. And so I always felt like my relationship wasn't up to par with some of my other friends' relationships with God. And so when I was in the 4th grade, I went to New Life Camp in Raleigh, North Carolina with my grandparents. And they have a campfire once a week, every week for camp. And I decided to rededicate my life to Christ. And I feel like I do have a relationship with Him. I love worshiping Him, and I love being an example, and I know that I struggle with that. Sometimes I'm not perfect, but it is something that I try hard to do, is to be an example for others, and to share my love for Christ with others. I am not going to say, obviously, that my life was full of rainbows and roses when I became a Christian. I struggled with self-worth and self-image and feeling accepted. Being a people pleaser is not the best quality that I have. And rejection from friends and from boys and from society in general really didn't help that situation. I had a group of friends who I really became close to at my church, and some of them went to my school as well. And it was good to have that strong group of friends that I do suggest that everyone has. It's hard when you don't have friends to be there by your side that are good influences on you, that will help you through the years of junior high and high school. So my advice to the upcoming upperclassmen, lower class, okay, is to keep your friends close and to make them a priority in your life, because they impact you for the rest of your life. I think that when I first moved here, Mark Vincenti was, he was in a junior high, and he probably has made the biggest impact on my life here at King Street Church. And he connected me with Rachel and Paige, and we were inseparable trio. And I think that really helped me get developed into this moving from, what you call your hometown to a place that you don't know anyone, let alone the fact that it was on the map. It was a hard transition, and I think that they really helped me make that transition, and I appreciate their friendship. Also Denise for being my small group leader and a friend, and going shopping and talking and doing my hair for all different events. I appreciate that and the talks that we have and the influence that you've had on my life. Also Sue Washabaugh and Megan Washabaugh, just for being women of God that I can look to and talk to, that isn't my mom, for things that I can, that I wasn't comfortable with before to talk to you about. And Megan for being my accountability partner. I wish that she was here, because I miss her dearly. And, okay, how many minutes was that? Because now it's starting to cry.
I was up to 4 minutes left.
But my life verse is, people have used it, but I think it's because Mark has kind of drilled it into our heads. Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. Plans to prosper you and to keep you, plans to give you a hope and a future. And like Alexander said, I'm one of those people who take my life into my own hands. I like to do things myself. I like to be headstrong. I like to be, I don't know. I don't really know what you want to call it, but I like to just do things myself. And that's been hard for me to say, here, God, you take control of my life. You do what you want with me. And that has probably been the hardest thing for me to give up, especially with this college decision. So, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do for King Street Church in the future, but I know that I will continue my ministry for Christ in the future. And I'm excited to see what he has in store for me. And I can not give you an answer of where I'll be in 10 years or anything like that, but my number one advice to you guys is definitely to keep your friends close and keep God close. Because I was in that situation where I didn't have friends who were close. I lost those friendships with my friends for various reasons. I had a friend Facebook me today and say, I miss calling you in the middle of the night to tell me that everything's going to be okay. You were always the one who was going to tell me what I didn't want to hear, and that's what makes you a best friend. And I miss you. And I told her, I said, I didn't go anywhere. I've been waiting for you to come back to me. And I realized, that's what I did to God. And it was, I felt far away from him, and all these things were going on in my life, struggles and temptations. And I realized, God hasn't gone anywhere. He's still waiting for me with open arms and waiting for me to come back to him. So that is my encouragement for you.